When the national anthem plays this weekend at NFL games across the country, we're going to take note of how many players continue the protests that were begun by Colin Kaepernick. Last week, nearly 24 players from 10 teams took a knee, raised a fist, or knelt protesting for social justice. Philadelphia Eagles safety Malcolm Jenkins was not one of them, though he had protested since week 2 of the 2016 season. Some players say he stopped his protest because the NFL and the Players Coalition he helped form agreed to a partnership. He says it was a gesture of good faith that the NFL was making good on a promise. That promise calls for the league to contribute about $90 million over 7 years to projects on criminal justice reform, law enforcement, and community relations and education. Members of the coalition say the NFL has never asked them to stop their protests. A handful of members have left the organization after voicing concerns that the deal was a sellout. Anquan Boldin is a former NFL wide receiver. He's co-founder of the Players Coalition. It's so nice to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
So you've heard some people have said that $90 million over 7 years is basically a payoff. Is it?
Definitely not. And I think the thing that people don't understand is not just about the money. It's about the platform that the NFL is lending to the players to make their voices even louder. Players are gaining access to legislators on the Hill. Also, they're getting the money to fund different programs in the communities that we care about. So it's definitely not a sellout. Players didn't start standing or coming out for the anthem until around 2008 to 2009. Before that, players were in the locker room, and there was never a platform for players to protest. The easy solution for the NFL, which is a business first, is to go back to that model.
There are a handful of players who've left the Players Coalition. I know of about, I'd say 4 or 5. Is that an accurate count, roughly?
Yeah, around 4 guys.
And why have they left, do you think?
I think a difference of opinions, which is fine. I think the main thing is that the work continues to get done. I think everybody has the common goal in mind. For players in the coalition, our thought process is to continue to improve our communities. I come from a less fortunate background.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Pahokee, Florida, a small town right on Lake Okeechobee. My family is still dealing with a tragic incident, having my cousin killed by a police officer after breaking down on the side of the road. So these are real concerns for us as players and as citizens, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I improve that.
Can you tick off specifically for me things that you're working on legislatively?
Yes, currently we want to deal with juvenile life without parole. I think we have 3 states in this country that lead the nation, in Louisiana, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. We've done listen and learn tours, and just to see a child at the age of 13, 14, 15 years old commit a crime and have to pay the rest of their life for it without the opportunity to go before a parole board. I have a son who's 13, and to put my son in that situation, I can't even come to grips with that. We would love to do away with cash bail, to have people in prison or in jail just because they can't afford their freedom isn't right. And a lot of times these people aren't charged with crimes. But the longer you sit in jail, the more opportunity it is for you to lose your job and to lose your place of residence.
Are you disappointed that Colin Kaepernick is not part of this?
For him to have gotten the conversation started, we would love for him to be. I think it would be great if everybody got behind the issue, because I don't think it's just a black player's issue. I don't think it's just an NFL issue. I think it's an issue for us as Americans. And until we deal with it together as Americans, it will never get solved.
And are you hopeful or pessimistic that that's going to happen?
I'm always optimistic, or I wouldn't be here. I mean, I don't want to sound like Dr. King, but I mean, it's definitely a dream of mine to make sure that everybody is seen in the same light. I mean, I have a young son right now, and majority of his friends are white. And I would like to see that across America.
We'll see if it can happen with the NFL leading the way in some ways. Anquan Boldin, nice to have you. Thanks for talking with us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Good luck with the coalition. You bet. My pleasure.